Hey everyone, so are you ready to finish section 2? Let's do that today. Hi everyone, Cristin Tom here, and we are continuing with our bench pillow, the Ginger's Kitchen bench pillow, with our sponsor, Binded by Stitches. So let's just say we have a bunch of blocks already done, and today we're going to finish up section 2 so we can put that together with section 1 and really look like we've got a lot done. All right, so let's go over what we're going to do today. All we're going to do are the border blocks. It should be a very simple day. I'm going to try and get all of them into one hooping. It will depend on your hoop size, of course. And just a warning, I have not already decided what quilting designs that I want, but I will tell you what size that you're going to need. All right, so let's go over each of these. If you made packets, grab your packet. I made an entire packet for all of the section 2 border blocks. And so I'm going to go over those one by one with you. And I have them numbered. There's not a number in the PDF, but there's my own numbering system, so it should help you determine what is what. All right, so let's go over these for section 2. So the first one is this black. This is the original fabric, the black plaid. This is the original one. This is for border block number 3. Let's see, I'll put my little paper right there. This is border block number 3, and I cut it a little larger. So you can either have it at 4.5 by 4.5, the original size that we will need to cut it down to, or like I recommended in the prep video, on some of these you can cut them a little bit bigger and just then use the tack down line as our cut line, because you will need the final size to be 4.5 by 4.5, but it helps to not have the stitching pulling in. So there's two things with that. I did back mine with fusible stabilizer, and I made it a little bit larger just in case it's needed. So again, that's totally optional. Either 4.5 by 4.5 or 5 by 5, and this is for border block number 3. All right, so either way, whether you cut it smaller or not smaller, if you cut it larger or not, then you want your batting to be 5 by 5. All right, so the same size as my block, 5 by 5 for your batting. All right, again, whether you cut it the original size or a little bit bigger, you want your board, you want your batting to be 5 by 5. All right, 5 by 5 for your batting. And then for this one, you want to quilt this with a 4 by 4 quilting design. Any quilting design that you choose, 4 by 4. And I'll add information once I determine which one I want to use. I'll add that into this video, and I'll also show it once we get to the computer part where I show you how you can get them all together and join them and so forth. All right, so this is border block number 3. You want a 4 by 4 quilting design. All right, and then the next one is number 4. So number 4 is this green floral fabric. I think it's originally from Make Yourself at Home. All right, and you want this one to be 2.5 by 2.5. All right, 2.5 by 2.5, and that will also be our final cut size. This one is going to be paired with one of those small pinwheels. All right, so originally I was thinking that I would quilt them together, but I quilted it using the Sweet Pea quilting design that I showed on our last video. So on this one, we're just going to quilt this piece that in a 2 by 2, whatever quilting design that you want, in a 2 by 2, and then we will join these together. All right, we will sew them together after this one is quilted. So originally I said you're going to need a piece of batting that is 2 by 4. You're going to cut that in half. It was my mistake. I was thinking that we'd quilt them together, but we're not going to. So you want a 3 by 3 piece of batting for this one. 3 by 3 for your batting. So you just cut it. All right, 3 by 3 for that batting, and we're just going to quilt this one. And for your quilting design, you want any quilting design that is a 2 by 2 quilting design for this one. This is number 4. All right, hopefully I didn't confuse you too much. My mistake on the extra piece of batting. All right, 2 by 2, that is for the number 4 border block. So for number 5, number 5, here is number 5. So this one, you can either have it be 2.5 by 2.5 or 3 by 3. Either one will work. This one we're going to sew together with that Ginger's Bakery. Whether you quilted it with that extra embellishment on it or not, that one we will use it, we will sew it on, but first we're going to quilt this. So this is a standalone piece, so I did cut mine bigger. So I cut mine to 3 by 3. But if you didn't see that on the prep video, you can have cut it to 2.5 by 2.5. That will work fine. And did I mention that our sponsor, this one for the number 3 block, and for this one, the substitution is the gray with holly leaves from our sponsor, Binded by Stitches. So whether you have the original one or the newer fabric will work fine. All right, so 3 by 3 or 2.5 by 2.5. On this one, you want a piece of batting that is 3 by 3. All right, 3 by 3 for your batting, and then you want a quilting design that is 2 by 2. Any quilting design that is 2 by 2, and this is for number 5. All right, and number 6 we already did. That was this one. All right, we already did that one. That's number 6. So number 7, oh, we already did number 7 too. Look at us go. We're just so ahead of the game. Number 7 was the one that we monogrammed. A bunch of us monogrammed that one. That is number 7. All right. So we will just save that for later at this point. All right. And then number 8 is this gray. So it is, I've got a little fabric, a little thread on there. It is gray with white dots on it, very simple piece. And this one, we are going to have this be at, in the book, it'll say 2.5 by 4.5, 2.5 by 4.5. You may have cut it, let me see. Yep, you may have cut it a little bigger. I recommended 3 by 5 on this one. 3 by 5 or 2.5 by 4.5, totally depending on what works for you. And your batting will be 3 by 5. Looks like I cut mine just enough what I had, I guess, probably. So batting 3 by 5, and then we're going to quilt this one. Like I said, this is number 8, number 8, and we're going to quilt this with any quilting design that is 2 by 4. All right, quilting design that is 2 by 4. Okay, that is for number 8, not 8. Yes, 8. Sorry. I'm getting myself mixed up. All right, so number 9. Now, number 9, we will attach to that number 8 after they're both quilted. So number 9, we're going to start with this at either 3 by 3 or 2.5 by 2.5. You can see I cut mine a little bit bigger. I'm going to quilt it first and then sew it together with that number 8. This is number 9. We're going to sew this together with number 8, but first we're going to quilt it. So any quilting design that is a 2 by 2 quilting design, all right? 2 by 2 quilting design. This is for number 9, right? Number 9. And we are going to have a piece of batting that is 3 by 3. All right, 3 by 3 for your batting, and a quilting design that is 2 by 2. Okay. And then for number 10, it's that same fabric that we just showed, a different one though. All right, and this one is going to be either 3 by 3 or 2.5 by 2.5, depending on what you chose to do. But 3 by 3 is what I did mine. You want your batting to also be 3 by 3. All right, 3 by 3 for your batting, and we want a quilting design that is 2 by 2. Any quilting design that is 2 by 2. This is number 10. Yep, number 10. All right, so a 2 by 2 quilting design. All right, and then number 11. So this one, we're going to sew this together with that pin, one of those little pinwheel blocks. So it is going to be the pinwheel and then 2 border blocks. And I was originally thinking that we could sew them together and then quilt all 3 together, but I forgot that we already quilted the pinwheel. So I'm just going to do a 2 by 4. So here, let me show you the fabric. So this one is number 11. I put them both as number 11. So these are both number 11. So this one is the red tufted fabric, and then the green make yourself at home floral fabric. And we're going to put these together. And by the way, this is 2.5 by 2.5, 2.5 by 2.5. Both of these, you don't want them bigger because we're going to sew them together. So 2.5 by 2.5. And then we're going to sew them together and quilt them together in a 2 by 4 quilting design. So you want a piece of batting that is, what is it, 3 by 5. You want a 3 by 5 batting. Mine's a little bigger because, like I said, I was thinking we would do it with the pinwheel, but I already quilted the pinwheel, so that's not going to work. So I'm going to cut this down just a little bit, take 2 inches off of it or so, and we're going to have the 3 blocks after. So first we're going to quilt these 2. This is number 11, and then we'll sew together that pinwheel block. So any quilting design for these together, we're going to sew them together and do it as a 2 by 4 quilting design. 2 by 4 quilting design. And like I said, the batting 3 by 5. All right, that is all of our border blocks. So now the thing is going to be to see if we can get them in as little hoopings as possible. So I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm going to bring it over to the computer. My goal is to get all of them in one hooping. I'm pretty sure since we took those two big border blocks out and we already worked on those, I think we'll be able to do it. Plus we don't have all the little pinwheel blocks either. So I think it'll be good. Let's go ahead and go over to the computer and see what we can get all together in one hooping. Hey everyone, I'm at my computer now and I'm going to quickly show you how to join all the various border blocks for section 2 together in one hooping, hopefully depending on your hoop size. So I'm going to open up Embellishment Essentials and move it over here so my head's not in your way. And right down here at the bottom it says I'm on my 6x6 hoop. I'm pretty sure I'm going to need my biggest hoop. I'm not absolutely sure, but I'm going to start with that. So I'm going to go to my preferences folder and I'm going to click on my 9x14, not my biggest, but I think that should work. Let's just see. I'll say okay and then click this compass button and click H for hoop. All right, so I think I'm just going to bring them in order so that to lessen confusion. So I went ahead and I went through all of, well, not all of, I went through a lot of my quilting designs, mostly the ones that we use for whisk, because you probably have already purchased those. And so, but keep in mind, you can use any quilting design that you want that's in the size that I said earlier. So I'm just going to run down the list here. So the very first one is number 3 border block. That is a 4x4. It's on black fabric and there's a couple of cute options. So Winter 2 is in the Cup of Cheer quilting bundle. If you did Cup of Cheer, then you would have that. That was really cute. It's got the snowman. The other one is Christmas 1, which we've been using a lot with Whisk and Ginger because it's got the gingers on it. So I'm going to go with that one because I think more people will have that. So I'm going to go to Merge Stitch File and I'm going to open up my quilt files and I want Christmas 1 in a 4x4. All right, embroidery files, block by block, Pez. All right, and then I'm gonna scroll down here to find the 4x4 design right there. How cute is that with the 2 gingerbread boys? I'm gonna double click on that. It goes to the center. I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna move it up here. And I think I'll go ahead and change each one now so that I'm not getting bored with doing too many of them. So I want to be able to do a color sort later and join some parts and not all the parts. I'm going to keep the last part, the thread of each of these, as a different color so that I can choose what thread color I want to use at the time. All right, so I'm going to click outside because right now everything is selected. I'm going to click outside so nothing is selected. And I'm going to click on 1-1. And I'm going to click on the color down here in this properties window. And I'm going to choose the first color that comes up for me. I'm on Fil-Tec Glide, so the first color for me is dark aqua. And say OK. And then 1-2, click on the color. And the first color that comes up for me is Blaze. 1-3, click on the color, and I want to use the second color down because I already used dark aqua. So I'm going to choose Marine and say OK. And then 1-4, click on the color, and I already used Blaze, so I'm going to use Oriole. And then 1-5, click on the color, and I'm going to use the first color, which is Sprout, and say OK. All right, so that one's done. Make sure to click outside because right now it's clicked on this 1-5. I want to click outside so nothing is selected, and I'm going to bring in the next one. And I may have to move these all around. I may have to change hoop size. I don't know at this point. So I'm just going to bring them in order for now. So the next one is number 4. And this is the one that I originally thought that we could do a 2x4 quilting design with the pinwheel block. But I didn't think about the fact that we've already quilted the pinwheel block. So I'm just going to do it as a 2x2. So I'm going to go to Merge Stitch File. And on this one, it's going to be on green fabric, and I'm going to choose Loops 1. That's the one that I chose a couple days ago for those lollipop sticks, and I thought it was so cute. So I want to make sure to get another use out of it since we purchased that one, since many of us did. So I'm going to go to Loops 1, Open that up, embroidery files, block by block. And if you do decide to purchase any designs, make sure to use our sponsors affiliate link. They get a little kickback from Kimberbell. So anytime you want to add to your embroidery library, make sure to use the link that's in the video notes. It's in every video for our sponsor. So here's the 2x2. How cute is that? I'm going to double click on that. It goes to the center, and I'm just going to bring it up here, basically moving it out of the way. We'll have to figure out how everything will work. Now I want to use all the same colors on the first 4 that I used on the first design, but on the 2-5 I want to make sure that that's different. So I'm just going to quickly run through these. I'm on 2-1, click on the color dark aqua, 2-2, click on the color blaze, 2-3, click on the color marine, 2-4, click on the color I want Oriole, and then 2-5, click on the color, and I already used Sprout, so I want to use sea green this time. All right, and then click outside so nothing is selected. That is for border block number 4 in a 2x2. I originally thought I could do a 2x4, like I said, but we're going to do a 2x2 on that one because we already quilted our pinwheel block. And it will be sewn to the pinwheel block after we quilt it, the small pinwheel. All right, so the next one is number 5. That also is a 2x2 design, and it is on the black plaid fabric or on the gray holly, depending on what you have. All right, so I'm going to go to merge stitch file. We want a 2x2. Number 5, I chose Christmas 1 to get that cute ginger, and it's going to be right next to the block that says Gingerbread Bakery, so that will be really cute. All right, so I'm going to close up loops 1, and I want Christmas 1, right? Number 5, Christmas 1 in ginger. Let's see, Christmas 1 right there. And open that up, block by block. Pez is what I use for my machine. And I want the 2x2. Just scrolling down, there it is right there. How cute is that? I love that one. All right, so for now I'm just gonna, I have to click on the stitching, otherwise it doesn't work. Click on the stitching and move it over, and I'm just moving it out of the way right now. But again, I wanna go through and change these colors real quick. So I'm gonna click outside so nothing's selected, and then click on 3-1, click on the color, I want dark aqua. 3-2, click on the color, we want blaze. 3-3, click on the color, I want marine. 3-4, click on the color, I want Oriole. And then 3-5, I want the third color down. So 1, 2, 3, I'm going for mint. All right, click outside so nothing is selected. That was for number 4. Now we're on number 5. Wait, that was number, wait, 3, 4, 5. That was number 5. Sorry about that, my mistake, sorry. Number 5, all right, and then number 6 we already did. Number 7 we already did. Number 8, now that's the gray one in a 2x4. So I'm going to go to merge stitch file, and I have chosen, where is it? Number 8, 2x4. I've chosen hobby 1 with the cute rolling pin. That's what I'm going to do. You can use any quilting design that is a 2x4 quilting design. So I'm going to hobby 1, block by block, Pez. And I want the 2x4 right there. How cute is that with the rolling pin? So I'm going to double click on that. And again, I'm just going to click on the stitching and move it over. And I want to click outside so nothing is selected. Then back up to 4-1. Click on the color. I want dark aqua. 4-2. Click on the color. I want blaze. 4-3. Click on the color. I want marine. 4-4. Click on the color. I want Oriole. 4-5, I want the fourth color down. So 1, 2, 3, 4 gives me magic mint. And again, that's because I'm on Fil-Tec Glide, so it depends on what your preferred thread is. So then click outside so nothing is selected, and that was number 8. So now we're on number 9, which is that black fabric, or if you have from our sponsor, it's the gray with the holly leaves on it, and we want a 2x2 for that one. All right, so I'm going to go to merge stitch file, and I have chosen hobby 5. It's got a cute measuring cup on it. So I'm going to go to hobby 5, embroidery files, block by block, Pez, and right there, see the measuring cup, how cute, 2x2. All right, I'm going to just bring that over here. All right, and then again, click outside so nothing's selected, and then 5-1, click on the color. I want dark aqua. 5-2, click on the color blaze. 5-3, click on the color. We want marine. 5-4, click on the color. We want Oriole. And then 5-5, I'm going to click on this. I want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, fifth color down. Click on the color. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It gives me cloud. All right, click outside so nothing is selected. That was number 9. Now number 10 is another 2x2 and also in the black plaid or the gray holly leaves. So on that one, we want a 2x2, and I've chosen Christmas 2 because it's got the candy cane. I think that would be cute. So I'm going to go to Merge Stitch File, and I'm looking for Christmas 2. Christmas 2. Embroidery files, block by block, Pez. And I want the 2x2. How cute is that? So this one, is this right? Let me see here. This is number 9, number 10. Sorry, this is number 10. Christmas 2 for the candy cane. Oh, that's funny. I chose the candy canes on the next one also. I didn't realize that, but that's okay. So Christmas 2, candy canes. I think I'm going to leave it right there for now. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the first one. That's 5-1. Click on the color, not 5-1, sorry. Say cancel. I'm going to close these so I can see where I am. I'm just closing these folders. I'm on number 6. Default one, blue, right there, 6-1. All right, then click on the color, dark aqua. 6-2, click on the color blaze. 6-3, click on the color, and we want marine. 6-4, click on the color, we want Oriole. And then 6-5, we want the 6th color down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That gives me azure. All right, and then click outside so nothing is selected. So I've said this on pretty much all of my videos. I want to just say it again to point it out. It doesn't matter what color you choose. You just want to make sure that they're the same as the other ones you're using for the parts that you want to join. And so I'm just telling you the colors that come up for me. It may be different on your end, but you want them to be the same as what you're doing on the other ones. All right, and then we just have one more. Now, number 11, that's the red fabric and the green fabric that we're going to sew together, and then we're going to quilt it. All right, so that one, we want a 2x4. I'm going to go to Merge Stitch File, any 2x4 that you want. And I actually chose Christmas 2 like we just did on this other one. It's going to be a little bit further away, but I thought that would be really cute with the red and green fabrics. I chose the candy canes. So Christmas 2, I want a 2x4. Look at how cute is that, 2x4. All right, right there. So now when you click on this, you want to make sure you're only getting that. So I'm going to click over here rather than clicking here because there's a design on top of it already. So if I click on this, then it will highlight it. I can use my arrow keys to move it. I just want to make sure I'm clicking on one thing. So it looks like I've got quite a bit of room. I can space them out, or I can try for a smaller hoop. Might even be able to fit this in an 8x12. Let's make sure that we got them all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, and this is 7. So we've got them all. Well, we did really good. I thought that it would be tighter than this. So you could try and fit it into an 8x12. If your biggest hoop is an 8x12, you probably can do it. This is actually quite a bit of rim for the 9x14 hoop. So I'm going to take this design and I'm going to rotate it to the left just because I have room to do that. Should we see if it fits in an 8x12? Or just enjoy the fact that we've got a little bit of room? I think I'll just space it out. I think we'll be all right. All right, so I'm going to just space it out. And so for now, we want to change these colors on this last one. Don't forget to do that. Click outside so nothing is selected, and then click on 7-1. Click on the color. We want dark aqua. 7-2. Click on the color. We want blaze. 7-3. Click on the color. We want marine. 7-4. Click on the color. We want Oriole. And then 7-5, I want the 7th color down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then 7 is light turquoise. Say okay. Click outside so nothing is selected. Now, like I said, you can move them around and see if it will fit in an 8x12 hoop. My guess is it would. or you can just have a little bit of extra space. Either way, if you keep them in order, you're going to want to know, which fabrics goes with what. So we did it. This was one there. You can tell from the numbers over here, but once you get it to the machine, it might be a little bit harder. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So I think I'll just move, space those a little bit. So that's 5, 6. So I'm going to bring 6 down here. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to click on number 7 and I'm going to move it over to the right. So I remember that that's the last one. And the reason is just so that you know what fabrics goes where. That's the only purpose to making sure to remember which is which. So you know which fabrics to go, but it doesn't matter a whole lot. All right, so I think I'll just give myself a little room on that and then maybe just bring these all down just a bit. So some of these have a little extra room, like a 1/2 inch, and then some are the size needed. But that's plenty of room. Got quite a bit of extra space here. All right, so that worked out really well. These are already all colored, so we can do our color sort. I'm just closing these design files. And make sure, don't forget, you want to make sure that you have these boxes or these designs where you want them before you do a color sort, because once you do a color sort, you will not be able to move them around. So make sure that nothing's over the hoop, that everything has ample space. This all looks really good. This was very easy to do. So right now we have 35 color steps. So I'm going to go ahead and if you were going to do I'm going to change. So remember, the 5th step of every quilting design, I chose a different color so that I can decide once I'm stitching, like, oh no, actually this would be a good thread color. If you wanted to do gray on all of them or white on all of them, then you could bring that color sort down even more, but I'd rather have the option. So I'm going to leave mine like this. So let's see how many we get down from 35 color steps. So if I go to Utility Color Sort, it thinks. Don't forget, you have to have these same settings as I have to get the same results that I'm getting. All right, so this force application, force applique are not selected, tolerance is at 0. It says it has reduced it by 24 color changes. Always click New View. It will make another tab. We've got tab 1 that has the 7 designs. It'll open tab 2 and it'll all be done in one design. And we want to just check and make sure that it did what we wanted it to do. So New View, there's our second tab. You can always go back to the first tab if something has gone wrong. But for now, let's just check and see how we did. So there is the placement for the batting on all of those, all 7 designs, the tack down of the batting, the placement for the main fabric. Don't forget one of these, this one, we will sew those 2 blocks together before we quilt them. And then that was the placement for the main fabric, the tack down of the main fabric. And if you didn't cut your fabrics larger, like I suggested, on some of them we were able to and some we were not. So if you did not, then it will not actually fit around. When you do that tack down stitch, it'll kind of just go around your fabric, whereas it will actually tack it down if your fabric's a little bit bigger. And that's why I recommend cutting it a little bit bigger on the ones that we're able to. It gives that tack down so you don't have to worry about your fabric moving. All right, and then we just use it as a cut guide after the quilting's done. So there is quilting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. How easy is that? So now we're down to 11 color steps. That's pretty nice, like less than a third of what we had before. So this will be super easy. I love it. I'm going to say File, Save Stitch File As. And if you wanted to add anything to these border blocks, now is the time. You would do it after that quilting. Most of these are on pretty busy fabric. There's one, number 8, that one is on that light gray fabric. You could put something on there. We already did on 2 of the other blocks, so it certainly isn't necessary, but if you wanted to, you could. But I think that rolling pin on that gray fabric will look really cute too. So I'm just going to leave that. So I'm going to say 9 by 14 border blocks 2 or section 2 border blocks, whatever you want to say that will help you to find it. And make sure that you're saving it where I'm saving it in the wrong place. So I want to make sure to go to Ginger's Kitchen, embroidery files right there. Pez, and I'm going to save it there in my embroidery files. Just wherever you save it, you can even save it to your desktop. Wherever you save it, you just want to make sure that you know where to find it. That's the only purpose. All right, so I'm going to say utility send to Solaris because my machine is on and ready for playtime. And it says file sent to machine, so I'm ready to go. If you don't have a machine that is Wi-Fi ready, you would just save this to a USB stick and bring your USB stick over to your embroidery machine, and that works great. If you don't know how to do that, I have a tutorial just for how to save onto a USB stick or copy to a USB stick. So you're all set. Let's get stitching. How are you doing with your goal? So I'm not wearing an embroidered shirt today. I'm wearing a dress to go to church. But I did print out something that I read today that I thought was really good. So I'm going to read this today as the goal. So remember, I'm picking out a couple of words here and there and things that help with our own mental health and with our own being our best selves, all of that. So this one, my word today is strong. All right. So this is what I have. She is strong, not because of how much she can lift, but for how she lifts others up when they're at their lowest. Not because she is capable of withstanding the storm, which also is important, but because she'll navigate the storm and then show you how to do the same. Not because she is indestructible, but because after every fall, she will always, always rise. She is strong, not because she chose to be, but because the world demanded her to be. She has walked through hell, faced battles most will not comprehend, and yet despite it all, she still chooses to be kind, to be soft at the hands of the world that tried to break her. Her strength comes from within, from learning how to turn pain into power, chaos into peace, wounds into wisdom. Strong is she who knows her worth and refuses to settle for less. Strong is she who will not back down, who will fight for what she believes in. Strong is she who has love wrapped around her heart, courage knitted in her bones, and fire running through her veins. Isn't that a good one? I really enjoyed that. I loved that. So be strong, keep doing the fight, right? Keep up working hard at being your best selves, learning new things, and share below. Tell me how you're doing with your goal. Ginger's Kitchen. So we are going to, let's just start our bench pillow, the Kimberbell Kitchen.